Hi Scorpio, how are you? This is going to be a reading for mid-July. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. It is a collective reading. I'm picking up on multiple energies. So what does that mean? That means that I might say a scenario that doesn't sound like your life. It's going to sound like someone else watching, okay? Everything I say could be vice versa. It could be you. It could be your cross-watcher. It could be people you're dealing with. This is energy. So energy is fluid in the universe. If this is not happening right now, this could be a prediction for a very, near future energy, end of the month. Also, Scorpio, you need to know what is your moon and rising sign, because those are your emotional and your physical interpretation of scenarios. So, the way that you find out your moon sign is putting a natal chart calculator, putting in your time of birth, place of birth, and that's how you calculate your moon and rising. And when you find that information out, watch those videos, because sometimes your moon and rising, they give you an accurate explanation of your energy. Make sure you also know that there's nothing that's linear in the universe, okay? Whenever you're guided to watch this is when you need to see this. Okay, your cards are ready to speak. Past energy, Scorpio. You could have had a falling out with someone who you were dealing with, where there was healing that needed to be spiritually, how can I explain this? So the star card in the reverse. The star card represents Aquarius. You could have been dealing with an Aquarius, but in the reverse, there was no healing in a scenario where there was a love relationship. Two of Cups is a love environment. So you could have been dealing with someone where there was no spiritual healing that was, able to be felt on your part or on the person who you're dealing with, okay? There had to be some kind of spiritual healing. It could be in delay, okay? What does that mean when you have spiritual healing? It means that when you come to a place where your mind is quiet, you're not thinking all kinds of, frantic, random thoughts. Your mind is at peace. Your heart is at peace. A spiritual healing means when you are just comfortable within yourself and you're free to express your emotions and you don't feel a heavy burden, or you don't feel like there is, heartbreak or upset about something. That's spiritual healing. So in the past, you were not able to achieve that in some relationship that you were dealing with, okay? We will clarify. Or you could have been dealing with an Aquarius. So scenario 1, there was no spiritual healing within a relationship. Scenario 2, you were dealing with an Aquarius who was not pure in intention, because the Aquarius card is the star card. In the reverse means this Aquarius was not pure, okay? Or there was no reconciliation. So the star card represents the Devil card did not fall, but it flipped. You could have someone who's toxic around you. The Devil card represents toxic codependency or toxic addiction. It could also represent a Capricorn who's in the mix. It didn't fall, so I'm not going to take it, but it flipped and made itself known to me. So there is something in your environment that's toxic. This could be a person. This could be an addiction. This could be anything. There could be someone who has an addiction to drinking, someone who has an addiction to sex, someone who has addictions to spending money. Everyone has different kinds of addictions. There's so many different kinds, okay? There could be something on the down low, because it didn't fall and it made itself known to me. There could be an addiction on your part or the person that you're dealing with, and it's not being shown. It's something that's between you and yourself, or your person has this, okay? Let's say you are a Pisces, sorry, I said Pisces, so you might be dealing with a Pisces. Let's say you're a Scorpio and you're dealing with a Cancerian or Pisces, because this is cups. If you are a water sign dealing with a water sign, so you could be a Scorpio dealing with a Pisces or a Cancerian. There was no healing within that relationship, and there was no understanding, because maybe the Cancerian had an addiction or the Pisces had an addiction. So you could be a Scorpio female dealing with a male, let's say Cancer or Pisces, or vice versa, or male and male, female, female, whatever. There could be a Scorpio dealing with a Pisces or with a Cancerian, and they had an addiction. It could have been a sexual addiction. It could have been a drinking problem. It could have been, you know, it doesn't mean that you have the addiction. It could be the person you're dealing with, okay? Present energy for Scorpio. King of Pentacles, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy. It also can represent someone who could be giving you financial offer in some work environment or work sector. So let's see, what's the current energy for Scorpio? The Hierophant, you could be married, or this represents Taurus. The Hierophant represents Taurus and it represents marriage. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You could be dealing with someone who is married, or you are married. Now this is interesting because I'm getting so many messages. That's why I had to pause. The Chariot in reverse. Didn't I just tell you that there's a scenario where there's a Scorpio dealing with a Cancerian or a Pisces? I believe that some of you Scorpios are dealing with a Cancerian who's a naughty Cancerian. Why do I call them naughty? Because they have some kind of addiction. And I feel like this is connected to the Devil card, okay? Or this is no forward action, because the Chariot represents Cancerian, major arcana, but it represents no forward action, no movement. Others of you could have a situation where there's car trouble, because it can represent the Chariot, which is maybe an issue with your car. So be careful, make sure everything is okay with your car. But the Hierophant is Taurus. So you could be dealing with a Taurus. Future energy for Scorpio. Or this, if you're not dealing with a Taurus, it represents someone, Hierophant in reverse. It didn't fall, it made itself known to me. You could be contemplating possibly, you know, irreconcilable differences between you and your person, your spouse, and you're maybe contemplating divorce, okay? And I like saw it across my mind, irreconcilable differences, and that's usually what's written in, you know, divorce papers. You might be dealing with someone who's thinking about that, or you're thinking about that, or you're dealing with someone who's in the process of getting divorced. You could be a Scorpio talking to a Taurus who's thinking of getting divorced, okay? Multiple scenarios. The only way I would know your exact energy is to book a personal reading. That's the only way we can find out what is your scenario, okay? General readings are general, so I'm going to keep it cute, short, sweet, and to the point. So let's see what's going on here. Future energy. Some of you could be bored. Currently in a relationship, you're bored, okay? Others of you could be thinking you want to travel because of this boredom, okay? We're going to see what's going on here. Why is the Star in reverse? So some of you Scorpios are dealing with an Aquarius who's not pure, or this is no healing within a relationship. Why is the Star card? Okay. So you could be having trouble sleeping or feeling some anxiety. There's the Devil card again. So you have some situation which is toxic. The Devil card has shown itself to me twice, okay? There's fighting and arguing. You could have fighting and arguing with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And the reason why this fighting is happening is because there's someone toxic in your energy. There's someone that's causing this riffraff within your relationship. Some addiction or some situation or some person that's causing this. You see how you have the Devil card here? Someone has an addiction, or someone is dealing with someone who's toxic, and it's causing fighting with the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, okay? Now, the Star card represents Aquarius, but this is swords. This is Libra and Gemini energy. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius who you're fighting with. This is fighting and arguing. Why? Because there's something toxic in the mix, okay? And the Devil card also represents Capricorn. So if you're not having some kind of, you know, toxic environment or situation or person, that could just be a Capricorn in your life, okay? Why is the Two of Cups here in reverse? The Hangman. You've been doing a lot of thinking. Some of you could be trying to look at things from a different perspective. Others of you could be dealing with a Pisces. Others of you could have Pisces in your moon or rising. But you're trying to look at things from a different perspective. Major Arcana, the Hangman, means in stagnation mode, not taking movement forward and looking at things from a different perspective. And this is toxic codependency, low vibrational energy. Personal reading, we would go into that more in depth, okay? But someone has an addiction. It could be sex addiction, drinking addiction, gambling addiction. All different kinds of scenarios. Why is the Chariot in reverse? Okay. You could be traveling somewhere, wanting to travel, okay? Also, you have someone who's traveling towards you, Queen of Pentacles. This is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy. Someone who's traveling towards you with good news. You might have someone who wants to give you some kind of financial offer, or you want to give them an offer. But the Queen of Pentacles, I did see the Hierophant. So you may have a Taurus trying to travel to you and wants some kind of offer, or wants to give you an offer, okay? And you're going to receive some kind of communication from that person. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? Yeah, someone is traveling towards you. You might be traveling towards them, or they're traveling towards you, okay? You also could be wanting to travel. Why is the Eight of Cups here? You could be, let's say, for example, you are a Scorpio who is dealing with a Cancerian, and you live at a distance from them, and now you're going to travel. Now that the borders are opening up, now that the airports are opening up, now that there's more traveling within cities, you could be living in one city and needing to travel. So you could be traveling towards this Cancerian, or a Cancerian is traveling towards you, or this Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, or Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Personal reading, we would tell you exactly. Remember, general readings are general. Why is the Eight of Cups here? Okay, you could be dealing with someone who is holding back their emotions, or you're holding back your emotions towards this Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Others of you, Scorpios, you could feel like financially you're struggling right now because you are not getting enough income. You know, we all went through a dry phase, and the coronavirus caused a lot of people to make less money. That's, you know, very normal that you could be feeling that way. But Four of Pentacles is someone who has a lack of financial, you know, compensation or financial gain, or they feel emotionally there's a lack, holding back their emotions. So however it resonates for you, okay? Queen of Swords in reverse. You could be holding back your emotions from a Libra, okay? Queen of Swords is Libra energy. You could have a situation where you feel bored and you want to travel, and you have a Libra that you're maybe holding back your emotions from, or you feel financially strained from this Libra, however it resonates. Remember, personal reading, you go into depth. But the Queen of Swords is Libra energy. Tell me one more card for Queen of Swords. Heartbreak. There's some heartbreak. You could have a Libra who you're dealing with who's brokenhearted over you. Okay, so this is Libra energy and the heartbreak. So you could have caused heartbreak for a Libra. You're holding back your emotions, and this Libra feels heartbroken because you're not showing your emotions, or vice versa. You could be feeling heartbroken from this person, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Okay, let's get a spiritual message for Scorpio. Whatever message is meant for you will come through, no matter what religion you are. This is a spiritual message. There's one God, right? So whatever religion you follow, there's one God, and this is a message for you to hear. Spiritual message for Scorpio, please show me. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. Wow, Scorpio, this is totally what I was just saying. This is the Devil card. The Devil comes into your life to tempt. This is a temptation that you need to ignore. And your spiritual message is saying, ignore the temptation. Watch and pray that you do not enter the temptation. So it's saying, don't enter this temptation. You're about to receive some kind of temptation, or you have some temptation. This is toxic energy. Remember, it's an addiction to sex, or an addiction to drinking, or an addiction to smoking, drugs, gambling, whatever. 2 times you had this card. So look at your spiritual message that's speaking directly to you, Scorpio. You are the person you're dealing with, saying, watch and pray. Pray that God can give you that power to overcome a temptation. Or maybe you need to tell this to a Capricorn. Or maybe you need to tell this to someone who you're dealing with. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius was very strong in this energy, in this reading. Someone needs to hear this message. So watch and pray so that God can take away your weakness during this, test, because a temptation is a test. Okay? When the devil appears, it's because the person is weak. The devil doesn't appear when you're strong. The devil only appears when you're weak. So fight the temptation, but with prayer, so that God can give you the strength to move away from that. Okay, that was for somebody. If you'd like to book a personal reading, email me at canceriandivinelightlovetarot@gmail.com. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your July, and I will see you in August. Namaste.